Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's start our discussion on the current events of the day, that is 12th December 2017. The first issue in news today is about the Hornbill Festival of Nagaland. The Hornbill Festival of Nagaland is one of the most anticipated festivals of India and is held between December 1st to December 10th of every year. All the tribes of Nagaland participate in the festival, thereby showcasing their rich culture. The festival also reflects the importance given to the highly respected hornbill bird. UPSC has previously asked a question on the habitat of the hornbill bird as well as on the various festivals of different regions in India. With that, let's move on to the next issue in news today,
which is regarding Section 33 of the Representation of Peoples Act, which allows an individual to contest from more than one seat in an election. The issue is in news because the Supreme Court has recently agreed to examine a plea to bar politicians from contesting in more than one seat. According to the current provision under Section 33 of the Representation of People Act, a candidate can contest in up to 2 seats for the same office. However, if the candidate manages to win in both the seats, he has to vacate one of the 2 seats. And due to this, the Election Commission has to again conduct a by-election to fill in the vacated seat, causing additional financial burden on the limited resources of the government, deployment of government employees to monitor the election process, and also injustice to the voters of the constituency. This is particularly true when it comes to tall leaders of any particular party. We'll look into this issue in further detail once the Supreme Court judgment is out. With that, let's move on to the next issue in news today, which is regarding the compact launcher being developed by ISRO. The compact launcher is aimed at launching smaller satellites whose payload is lesser than what the PSLV can handle. The need and benefits of such smaller launch vehicles includes it will significantly bring down the cost of launch because of smaller quantities of fuel needed, thereby cutting down the launch fee for the customers. Then the smaller vehicles can be set up faster than the bigger launch vehicles like PSLV, thereby also avoiding waste of a bigger launch vehicle. Adding to all this is the growing demand in the small satellite market, which have various applications and which can be easily launched through smaller launch vehicles. With that, let's move on to the next issue in news today, which is regarding the recent declaration of the RIC, which agrees to uphold the rule of law in international affairs and commending the counter-terrorism operation in Syria led by Russia. The issue is important both from the prelims as well as the mains perspective, and UPSC in the past has asked questions on various groupings of which India is a part of. And the RIC forum is a trilateral grouping of Russia, India and China, which meets annually to discuss various issues of mutual interest. With that, let's move on to the next issue in news today, which is regarding the recent comments made by the Indian and Chinese foreign ministers on the Dhokla issue. As we all know, Dhokla is situated at the tri-junction of India, China and Bhutan. The region is of great importance to us because of its close proximity to the narrow Siliguri corridor, or what we call as the chicken's neck, which connects northern India with northeast India. And any disruption of this route will result in the complete cutoff of northeast India, which might result in economic as well as human losses. I have discussed this issue in further detail in my previous videos, and those who have missed it can go back and watch the same. With that, let's move on to the next issue in news today, which is regarding the Iran nuclear deal which was reached between the Iranian government and the P5+1 grouping. The P5+1 grouping consisted of the permanent 5 members of the UN Security Council along with Germany, who, along with the European Union, had reached a deal with Iran to cut down on its nuclear research activities in return for lifting of international sanctions imposed on Iran. The issue is in news again because of the unpredictable nature of the current US President's foreign policy as well as his controversial remarks over the issue in the past. We'll follow this issue closely as it evolves. With that, let's look into the other issues in news today. The first one being India's reservations over reaching a WTO deal without safeguards to the public stockholding programs of the government, on which a detailed article was given in the Hindu yesterday and have discussed it in depth in yesterday's news analysis. The second issue in news today is regarding the refusal of European Union to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. We are all aware of the controversial remarks made by the US President over recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital and the various reactions across the globe against such controversial remarks. We have discussed in depth this particular issue in my previous videos, and those who have missed it can please go back and watch the same. The next issue is regarding the continuous assurances given by the Finance Minister regarding the controversial clauses in the draft legislation on financial resolution of stressed financial entities like banks regarding the fears over the deposits of the bank account holder. The final issue of the day is regarding the surge in the prices of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in news continuously over the past several weeks, and I have discussed in detail what is the reason for the price hike of Bitcoin, what are the vulnerabilities of the Bitcoin, and possibility of Bitcoin usage as an alternative currency in my previous videos, and I request those who have missed it to go back and watch the same. With that, I am wrapping up today's news analysis. Do like, share and comment to support the initiative. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.